Hey, what's going on guys? It's Eric here and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, we are talking VeCHAIN and I'm giving you guys a daily update on this one. We haven't actually talked about it in a few days here. Nothing much has happened. Bitcoin has basically just traded sideways, has been a bit down ever since a few days ago. It was closer to around 39,000 and now we see Bitcoin around 35,000 and VeCHAIN closer to about 12 cents or so in the last few days, and now it's closer to 10 or 11 cents. So in this video, I just want to give you guys the general analysis we have, and then I want to go into the specific levels of support and resistance that we may have on VeCHAIN. So as we see here, this is the Elliott wave theory as we had indicated in previous videos, and I'm still thinking we are probably going to hit that 84 cents. Now obviously this is not going to happen overnight, and this is just a theory, so it may or may not happen. Now I still believe that we are in a bull run. Again, Bitcoin is still around 35,000. If we just go look at Bitcoin on a daily chart here, we do see that it is struggling going back above these EMAs. So as long as we don't see Bitcoin going back above these EMAs, well, we're probably going to continue just staying in these ranges here. And if Bitcoin does continue to sell off and hit 28K or hit 30K, we're going to have to wait and see. But it's obviously going to bring down VeCHAIN with it, along with all of the other altcoins as well. So definitely do keep an eye on Bitcoin. And if we go on to Bitcoin's 4-hour chart, well, we do see it's definitely having a hard time breaking above this 20 EMA. It had broken above it on the 25th, 26th, and then it found some resistance on the 55. And then we see a lovely little head and shoulder pattern here. Not lovely at all because that's a bearish sign. And then we have our neckline here, the breakdown target right there. And if I move that to basically where we broke out, right down here, it was a bit longer. So we do see it did break down, and it broke down even further around 33,000. It has bounced back up, but anyways, that's the long story short on Bitcoin here. As we see on this 4-hour chart, it definitely has fallen through this level of support, which is not a good sign, but right now we are seeing kind of bounce back within the last day or so. So if we go back to VeCHAIN on this, I just want to show you guys that I think we are still looking on a bull run, again all dependent on Bitcoin. And if I just pull this back out here to kind of show you guys, this may be what we're seeing right now. And as I had mentioned in one of my previous videos, is usually when you have a corrective wave, you're going to have the Elliott corrective wave, which is the ABC correction. And this is all information online, guys. Just if you aren't too familiar with Elliott wave theory, just go Google it and it'll literally tell you everything you need to know about this theory. But basically, for those of you who don't know, when you have a corrective wave, you usually have an ABC pattern within that corrective wave. And right here, this is corrective wave number 4 after the big impulsive wave of wave 3. So if we have an ABC correction from there in this wave 4, it would mean something like this. So we see we have a initial point of departure, and then we go to a bottom here. That's our first A, and then the B pattern is when you have a little bounce back and people are saying, oh well, this may not be going down to 0, it's going to bounce back. So it bounces back, but then you have a further correction C, which is lower than your corrective wave A. So then that is your ABC correction within that wave 4. So if we are seeing this right now, and as I've mentioned, we have indicated this in the past, it is on a weekly chart, so we still have to wait and see what actually ends up happening in the next few weeks to kind of confirm this wave 5. But if we are finally done with this ABC pattern in this wave 4, we may be in this wave 5 and pushing to 83 cents here. Now again, it's all dependent on Bitcoin, and right now we are seeing that VeCHAIN is actually lower than the 20 EMA on a weekly chart. So I do want to see VeCHAIN push above this one and find support on its 20 EMA on a weekly chart, because if not, it is just going to continue adhering to this level of resistance. And if we just extend this 20 EMA, which is going to go something like this, if the price can't get above it, we're just going to be adhering to this level, and it's going to have a further impact, a further rollover for VeCHAIN. So that is definitely something I am monitoring on this weekly chart. But if we move on to a daily chart here, I just want to show you guys a few levels of resistance and of support that we kind of just been adhering to over the last few days. So if I put this bigger, we zoom in here, we are definitely looking at a level of resistance right now around the 10.9, and a few days ago around May 28th, May 26th, we were pushing this resistance of 13 cents. Obviously, we found a lot of resistance there and couldn't get through it. As you see, the top of the wicks right here are literally right on this level of resistance, and it just rolled over, and it didn't actually find support on this 7-day EMA, so it rolled over even more. And now we basically found a level of support right around here, which was around 9.2 or so, which kind of correlates with some previous lows here and some previous levels of consolidation back on late March, early April. So we found some level of support here, and now we are trying to get back above this 10.9, which is acting as a level of resistance. So if we do continue seeing Bitcoin slip, I'm looking at 866 as far as for another level of support, which we have found here. And as far as for levels of resistance, we have the 109 and the 13.1 here, which are going to be key levels to start breaking up here to trend back upwards on VeCHAIN. So that is on a daily chart. And if we just look at the RSI quickly, we are around 42. So it is relatively healthy here. It is ready for another run, and in my opinion, this may be setting itself up for another run, as we've seen in the past here. When it was around the 45 all the way back on March 1st, we had a crazy run, and the RSI went all the way to 83 during that massive impulsive wave. So I'm not saying we may see something like this, but we are definitely in the realm of possibly seeing the RSI breakout here. If we get the bulls back and if we get a lot of buying pressure here, we could see the RSI start trending up here. So that is what I wanted to show you guys on a daily chart. If we just quickly go over to a 4-hour chart, again, the levels are going to be the same on this, but I just want to show you guys something that has happened. So we did have this inverse head and shoulders. We broke out, but then quickly came all the way back down. And if we just give you guys the levels on this impulsive wave right now, so if I draw the fibs from this local bottom here and I go to the previous high around 14.1 and I just extend this, I know there's a lot of lines, so let me just delete this one here just for the sake of it, like this. So this is exactly where we are in this impulsive wave right now. As we say, this is our low around 9.2. We hit a high of about 11.4, found some resistance on there, which is that 0.5 retracement from the previous impulsive wave. And now we are slowly coming down and adhering to this 7 EMA on a 4-hour chart for levels of support. So again, on this impulsive wave, definitely do look for 11.4 as far as for resistance, which we have topped out twice here. And now as far as for levels of support, if the 7 EMA doesn't hold here, definitely look at 10.2 and maybe even go back to 9.2. So if we just look at VeCHAIN on a more global side of things on a 4-hour chart, we are definitely making higher lows as we are trending up here, which is a very good sign for VeCHAIN. So if I just draw this trend line, this was a local low back on May 19th when we saw everything go all the way down. So we are definitely making higher lows as we are coming up here, which is a very good sign for VeCHAIN. It is definitely not as fast as we'd want it to be, but it is still making higher lows as we are trending up here. So we definitely don't want to see VeCHAIN start rolling over here and continue down and start breaking this level of support, because if we do break that, then we're probably going to continue rolling over for VeCHAIN, which is definitely not something we want, because on this channel we are bullish on VeCHAIN and we love VeCHAIN. Again, not financial advice, because I am holding a position on VeCHAIN, so this is something I don't want to see. And if I just draw another trend line here for the resistance portion of it, we are definitely seeing some resistance on this level here. So this is basically our ascending triangle, and if we just continue on here and we continue on trading in this range here around the 10.9 11 cents, we're going to get to this apex and we're probably going to break out here or break below. Hopefully, since it is an ascending triangle, we are going to break out here. But again, we're going to have to wait and see. And these are 4-hour candles, so this might take a few days to play out. And again, all dependent on Bitcoin. So guys, that is basically what I wanted to show you guys on VeCHAIN. This is still one of the coins I really like, and I'm still really bullish on it. I'm not planning on selling anytime soon. I'm planning to hold this for years on end. So guys, that is going to wrap up your video on VeCHAIN. If you did find some value in the video, make sure you smash the like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.